What's up YouTube, Mario here. This is my 1999 Chevy Silverado, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the Big 3 kit. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright guys, so you have two ways of doing the Big 3. You either can do it with a pre-made kit, which this is a CT Sounds Big 3 upgrade kit, or you can use any wire you have laying around, which, you know, here's some examples of it. But just know your colors of, you know, to identify the wires that you're using for, you know, the power wire or the ground. If you're using, you know, some odd colors. But I'm not going to be doing that. I am going to be doing the Big 3 with the, you know, the pre-made kit, I guess. So if you open this up, in this kit you have, I think, like 6 feet of 0 gauge ground wire, and the blue here is considered your power because you don't have that much of it. So yeah, that's that. And it also comes with connectors, and if needed, up to the user, a fuse block. So that's everything that comes in this kit. I recommend it, unless, you know, you don't have the budget for a pre-made kit. So yeah, let's get to the install. But before we get to the install, I want to show y'all real quick why I'm doing the Big 3, and is because I have two 12-inch Scar EVL 12s, which they're pretty, you know, monster, and I have 1 amp per sub, so I am pulling a lot of power. It's like, you know, current. So I do want to do the Big 3 so I can supply enough power for the amps. I am going to be upgrading my alternator too as well, but in the meantime we're just going to get the Big 3 knocked out. So let's get to it. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take out the positive and negative post on the battery using the 5/16 wrench, and I already got them off. So let's go to the next step. So the next step is to go to the alternator side and locate your charging wire, which is connected to this red post right here on the corner. And you just trace it, and it should end up in the back of the alternator area. And holding it back here is a 10mm, which I already loosened it up. Using that, you're just gonna pull it off, and your charging wire should come off like this. While we're right here, we're gonna go ahead and take off this boot so we can modify it to fit the new wire and make it look factory looking. So pull this off too. Alright, so the next step is to prep the wires, and to strip them back, you're gonna use some, you know, some of these or whatever you have, some strippers, a knife, you know, a knife, that'll work too. So you're gonna peel it back enough to get the ring terminal on there where you don't have too much wire on the ring terminal. So you do that, and the next step is to install the ring terminals. Alright, so to crimp the ring terminals, there's 3 methods of doing it. So the first method is the old way, the good old hammer crimper. So how it works is you pretty much put your ring terminal in there along with the wire, hold it tight right there, and then use your hammer, hit the top of it until you get the desired crimp. The second option is the hand hydraulic crimper. So, you know, pretty much pump it up using hydraulic pressure, put the wire in here, and it comes with different dies. And the third method is, if you have access to it, over here we have a hydraulic crimper, and pretty much gives you your settings right here. And yeah, I mean, this is the best way, but I'm not going to be using that. I am going to use the hand hydraulic crimper because I think it gives me the best, you know, movement to adjust the crimp So yeah, let's do that. Also, one last thing I forgot to mention. I'm not going to be using the ring terminals that it comes with. I am going to be using these Forney brand copper lugs. And here's the part number. So yeah, I'm gonna be using these, so let's put them on there. Okay guys, so I got the first wire ready, which this is the power wire. Now I did also forget to mention that I am not gonna be using the fuse block that comes with it. So if you do choose to, you know, hook it up anywhere in line along the way. So that is optional, but like I said, I'm not gonna be using it. So we got the first wire ready. I did put a little zip ties that it comes with right there. And I think that looks pretty good. I forgot to record the process of crimping. So I'll try to record the process with the ground cables. So we're gonna take our cable over here and run it across the same route as the old one, except we're not gonna, we're gonna skip over here, over this distribution area. We're just gonna go underneath, follow this main wire, and where it leads to the positive on the battery is where we're gonna connect it. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and we'll do the next step. Alright guys, so I got the wire in, and I bolted it on there. It's tight, so I went over the throttle body cable area, and went along the same path as the original one, zip tied, and yeah, it's on there. And I know some of you are gonna say I should have used heat, what do you call this stuff? Loom. But I don't know. I just didn't want to use it. So if I have problems, that's on me. But I recommend you guys use it. So, and then also on this little extra piece I told y'all to save, I did modify a little bit to fit over the existing stud, but due to it being in the shape it is, it's not gonna work. So I'm not gonna use this. If you guys can make it work, then do so, but I can't. So the next thing we're gonna do is the second wire, which is gonna be the wire from the battery negative to the ground, which is gonna be right there in that bolt hole right there. That bolt hole right there. And I think we're just gonna clean it up and use a self-tapping screw. I know I should use a little stud, but I gotta use what I have. So let's get to doing that. Alright guys, so I got my second wire done. This is the one that goes from the negative on the battery again to the frame. So you're just gonna use a brush wheel and sand it down to bare metal to get good contact, and then you're gonna spray paint over it, or use dielectric grease, or paint, what's it called, spray electrical tape, if you've never heard of that. So you're just gonna do that, and I'm gonna knock that wire out real quick, and we'll move on to the third one. Alright guys, so I got the second wire installed, and like I said, it goes from the frame to the negative post on the battery, which it's right here, as you can see. It's pretty short, and it's bolted on there. I also did grind the metal down to get a better connection. So yeah, the second wire's done, and the third wire we have left is the wire from the back of the motor to the stud mount right here. Now I have done research, and a couple people do it different ways. So some trucks, like the 5.3 motor, have the alternator on this side, where it also offers like a ground points, and this is a 4.3. So I did notice I ran into some problems because I couldn't really find anything on where to ground it. So I really, I only saw the only option which was the ground strap from the firewall to the back of the motor, which is really hard to reach to. And I want to do it right, so I wanted just to use the original ground and double it up right there. So I've seen it also where you can ground it right here on the alternator bolt, but I don't know about the 4.3s. I don't want to find out either. I've also seen where you run from the back of the motor all the way up to the negative on the battery. And I've also seen where they run from the back of the motor just to somewhere on the frame. So I don't know which option's better. I think a ground is a ground. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the back of the motor to the firewall and hope for the best result. If not, I'll go ahead and add another ground somewhere once I get my mind right, I guess. So let's do that. Alright, so I got the third wire in, as you can see right here on the firewall stud. So you can see it goes from here wrapped to the very back. So for this one, I did wrap it in loom and Tesa tape. So I do recommend, if you're dealing around the engine, to wrap it. As for these, they're not really exposed to too much heat, but maybe I should wrap them, but I'll do that later. So yeah, third wire is done. I think, honestly, for the third wire, on this one I could have used the second ground strap as this one, but I just gotta use what the kit gave me, so yeah, there's that. So the big three is done. So to go over again, you have the one from the power to the back of the alternator, from the battery negative post to the ground on the chassis, and the third wire is from the firewall or X, wherever it may be on your truck, to the back of the motor or somewhere grounded on the motor. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm about to give y'all some results on the voltmeter. I did not get before results, but I think it was around 13.5. So let me finish hooking everything up and let's hear it play. Alright guys, so we just finished installing the big 3 upgrade. So now we're gonna see the results. This is my truck, if anybody wants to see that. Anyways, like I said in the beginning, 2 Scar EBL 12s on 2 Pioneer 1600s, I think, monos. So yeah, so beforehand, I think I said somewhere in the video that I was reading 14.3, which I think it was 14.0, and now it's 14.3. I saw it 14.3 earlier before I started recording. Anyways, I'm gonna play some music without vocals, just bass, to see what kind of voltage drop we get in the process of bumping. So let's do it. So got the volume up. It sounds way better, but it did drop, as normal. I mean, not normal, but less than it normally does for me. So I think it did help. We'll see in the long run. It sounds pretty ugly just because it's voiceless music, because I don't want to get copyrighted. So let's try another song. hear flapping is this license plate. Sounds way better too, I think. So yeah guys, that's the end results. For me, it does sound a lot better, and the dash doesn't dim as much as it used to, so I think the Big 3 did help for me. So that's the end of the video. If you have any questions, let me know. If I did something wrong, let me know in the comments as well, because I will answer all comments, good or bad, because I take any feedback. Because, you know, I like to know what I'm doing wrong, or what can I improve on, or maybe I can help somebody answer something. So yeah, like I said guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.